Most companies don't realize it, but the way that they handle time off is costing them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per year. And the crazy part, it has nothing to do with employees who are slacking off or even taking advantage of a generous PTO policy, but rather the current solution that they have in place. Think about it. If you're constantly making errors with payroll, or managers are having to outsource work because the entire team is off, or even if employees are going on burnout because taking PTO is too complicated or too stressful, that all contributes to your bottom line. So, as a favor to you, I'm going to be covering the 5 must-have features you need to look out for when adopting a time off management software solution. And I can assure you, if you're missing even just one of these features, you're going to be paying for it in one way or another. For the first feature, let's start with something that companies often overlook or even take for granted, and that is, of course, how easy it integrates into your current workflow. Now look, most people do not want to have to download another app or bookmark another website and have to create another account. At a certain point, you just reach a threshold for tech bloat. So of course, having a solution that integrates directly where your employees spend the most time day in, day out is going to be critical to driving that adoption. So for an example, if you're a team that primarily messages through Slack, then of course it's a no-brainer to download a Slack app. Similarly, if you operate in Microsoft Teams, or even if you work primarily with email. Another important tidbit or something to look out for is if the software offers SSO or single sign-on, as that will allow your employees to create an account in just one click and save them the hassle of going through the motions of entering their information. The more barriers you can remove, the less friction there will be, and the less friction there will be means that employees will actually be using the tool and you're getting the value out of it. Ideally, you'll want to find a solution that can integrate with multiple different workflows, as a lot of companies these days don't just stick to one tool, but tend to use multiple. Now, having it integrate into your workflow is of course important, but the solution is going to be next to useless if it forces you into a box with rigid rules. So that's why the next most important feature is going to be having deep levels of customization. No two companies are alike. You might have one company that wants to offer unlimited paid time off and another one that wants to offer 2 weeks plus a few sick days. So of course, finding a solution that can meet all these scenarios is going to be important because naturally your company is going to grow and change. And I'm not just talking about being able to create a leave type and putting in a certain amount of days, but I'm talking about those edge cases such as seniority entitlement when an employee gets more time off as they become more senior in the company, or even being able to create blackout periods where employees cannot take time off because it is high season for you. The deeper level of customization, the closer you'll get to your actual leave policy. That's not to say that the out-of-the-box solutions are terrible, it just means you'll be doing more manual work and more workarounds to have your policy implemented inside the software. Another important consideration is that you want something that works worldwide. Especially with teams being dispersed around the world, you have to make sure you adhere to the laws of the country. So having a tool that allows you to easily set up the local leave laws and the holidays for the country the employee is based in is also going to save you a lot of manual effort and time. The better the customization, the less work you'll have to do. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at your solution. Now that we've got the integration in place, so people are using it, and now you have the policies in place, so it's less work setting up, the next thing you're going to need, and arguably the most important for most companies, is real-time visibility. And when I say real-time, I mean real-time, not an email that comes a week after the employee's on vacation, but instead, when a vacation is approved, you want to see that go directly into a calendar. The more places the data appears, the more likely people are to see it, and of course, they can use that to do their planning and budgeting for that certain period. Without visibility, you end up in scenarios where employees are double booked, or you miss deadlines, or even you're just misallocating resources. So of course, having things front and center is going to be important for managers and above so they can make strategic business decisions. Ideally, you want visibility on everything. So whether a leave request is being sent in, whether it's being rejected and being approved. So look for solutions that are comprehensive along the entire journey for time off. While having proper visibility is arguably the cornerstone of a time off management software solution, even visibility can't help you if you're having to chase 2 or 3 people down to get a response for a leave request. So the next feature you need to be aware of is automation. Going back to what I said before and removing friction and barriers, having automation is going to help ease the situation. You want a solution that allows you to set it up so employees work directly with their managers and getting their time off approved. and having you removed from the equation completely. You'll also want automation so that when a request is approved, it'll automatically be added to people's calendars. There are also other scenarios where automation can come in handy, such as having a sick policy where it doesn't require any approval, but rather just gets auto-approved and added to the calendar. There are a lot of scenarios where automation comes to play, but of course, having a tool that allows you to set up these rules so you can be more productive and less in the tool itself is going to be beneficial to your organization. Now, for the last feature, let's look at something that companies often miss, and it turns time off from admin headache to strategic superpower, and that is, of course, robust reporting and analytics. In this world, data is king. So of course, having information on leave trends, PTO usage, and being able to break it down by department, employee, or even region is going to help guide you in making strategic business decisions. Having a solution that allows you to look at trends can help you spot employees who are also on the verge of burnout if you're seeing that they're not taking their vacation throughout the year. Listen, at the end of the day, you cannot fix what you cannot see. So of course, ensuring that the solution can send you reports on a timely basis or that you can export them whenever you need to is going to help you fix and address these problems within your organization. Good leaders react, but great leaders anticipate problems in advance so they can fix them before they even happen. Another thing to keep in mind with reporting and analytics is that you also want a solution that can send it to you regularly, kind of like what we talked about before in automation, where you can set it up so these reports come to you either monthly, weekly, or daily, depending on your needs. That way, again, you're not constantly going through data or dashboards to get the information that you need. So to recap, or if you're only watching this part of the video for some reason, here are the 5 features you need to look out for when choosing a time off management software solution. 1, you want it to integrate easily with your current workflow. 2, you want to make sure that it has deep levels of customization so it can match your policy. 3, you want real-time visibility so you know who's out and when. 4, you want good automation so that you can automate a lot of the more menial tasks. And 5, having proper reporting analytics so you can make those business decisions. Now look, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Vacation Tracker covers all these bases and then some, but I urge you to do your own research. And again, I remind you, at the end of the day, if you're missing even just one of these features, that's what causes stress and headaches for your team. And this kind of stress is what pushes your best players out the door. And that's the real danger here. Because employees don't always quit because of pay. They quit because it's an uphill battle and they feel like they're fighting against systems that make their work more complicated than it needs to be, especially when it comes to taking time off. So if you want to understand why your best players actually leave and what you can do to keep them, then I suggest checking out this video I made right here as I cover everything you need to know. Hopefully, I'll see you in that video.